Today, I'm gonna give you the first look at a new camera on the market that's gonna be pretty comparable to some other POV style cameras that are out there. This is the Xtra Atto. Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Zach, I'm a photographer and videographer, but more important than that, I'm a husband and a father. And today, we are talking about this new little camera, the Xtra Atto, which is a POV style action camera that will feel very similar to products like the DJI Nano, Insta360 Go 3S, and Go Ultra. We're gonna go through all the different features on this, look at some of the different elements, and walk you through how I set mine up to document family life. So starting off, the design of this camera, the Atto, is very tiny and very discreet camera. So it's perfect for both, action style videography as well as POV style videography. The camera itself comes in at just 54 grams, and the dock is 73 grams, which means combined, it's only like 127 grams, which is just ridiculously tiny and lightweight. And that means it's super handy for like discreet filming. If you put it on yourself, you can use it in so many different places. You can get it in so many different places. I honestly forget that I have it on when I have it on. So that's just amazing. Like both DJI and Insta360's cameras, this is magnetic on the back of the camera, but it's also magnetic on the side, which gives you multiple options on how you can place this camera for filming. And not only that, it is a flat surface, so it'll stand up, which is super handy. You don't have to have like an extra tripod or whatever to just stand this up and film on yourself. So I really like that. This camera has a sensor size of 1/1.3 inch and a field of view of, I believe it's 143 degrees. So you've got the same sensor size as the DJI Osmo Action 5 Pro, which means you're going to get some very great low light performance out of this camera. There are also two audio mics, one on the front and on the top. So you're gonna get some decent audio out of this camera. And then on this camera, there is just one button right on the top here to start and stop your recording. Now, obviously the camera can be attached to their multifunction vision dock. And that is where you can use both of these magnets on here as well as the clips, so this thing is not going anywhere. You can also set it up so the camera faces the same way as the screen, so you can use it in selfie mode, or you can turn it around so you can see the screen while you're capturing family life. So the next question is, what can this camera do? Well, when we're getting into the meat of this camera, we see that it's a 4K filming camera, and you can film in both 16:9 as well as 4.3 aspect ratio. And you can go up to 60 frames per second in the 16:9 at 4K, and then I think you can go up to 50 frames per second at 4:3 aspect ratio in 4K. For me, I keep mine at 4K 16:9, and I use 24 frames per second. If I know that I'm gonna be getting something that I want to slow down, then I'll change it to 60, but for the most part, I'm leaving this in 24 frames per second. As for the different video modes, you have a normal video mode, but you also have pre-recording mode, where you can record up to 5 minutes of footage before actually hitting the record button. So this means if your camera is pointing in the right direction and you can't get to that record button in time, you can still have confidence that what you wanted to record is being recorded. There's also what they're calling a loop recording, and that basically is, unless otherwise directed, the camera will film over itself for a certain amount of time. So this can be really handy if you've got it attached to your car and you're wanting to get driving footage and you don't know what you're necessarily gonna get, but you also don't wanna eat through all of your storage capacity. It'll use that option, so it'll record over the last 5 minutes if nothing cool happened in the last 5 minutes. For me, having kids and knowing that I'm often going to be using one of the magnet mounts, I am utilizing that pre-record for 15 seconds. Anything more than that, and I feel like I probably won't have the camera pointed in the direction that I want. So for the field of view, you have 3 different options. You have a standard, a wide, and an ultra wide. And I like to keep mine on the standard because you get the advantage of de-warping in camera. There are also a couple different stabilization modes. You can turn on Motion Master for a dynamic action stabilization, or Tilt Guard that will keep the horizon level as well as giving you some good motion stabilization. I keep mine just on the Motion Master. I do like the horizon stabilization. Maybe if I'm gonna be doing something that will be bouncing the camera around, I'll change that. But with the horizon level, you basically are cropping in a little bit more to get that horizon level. So I like to keep mine on Motion Master. It gives me the widest field of view while still giving me stable footage. Now, the Atto does allow for you to use both auto and manual settings when setting this camera up. Most of the time on cameras like these, I like to leave my settings on manual because it just makes the process of documenting family life a little bit easier. But if you do want those more cinematic shots, then I recommend setting your shutter speed to 50 if you're filming in 24 frames per second, 120 if you're filming in 60 frames per second. And then I also would say leave your ISO at the range of 100 to 3200. This camera doesn't have a full-size sensor. It's got a 1/1.3. So the higher you go in ISO, the more your image is gonna get a little grainy. But I am impressed at how high this camera lets you go in ISO. So that's a really cool thing. But I set mine to 100 to 3200. And when I'm doing this, that means the camera is picking the best ISO in that range to give you the best looking shot. I also keep my white balance to auto. You can change that and play around with it if you want, but auto works best for me. Now, when it comes to color, you have a normal 8-bit, you have a normal 10-bit, and then you have a log profile that they're calling Xlog 10-bit. So if you want the best flexibility out of your color, then go with that Xlog 10-bit. If you want, to have the smallest file sizes, then go with the normal 8-bit. For me, I leave mine on normal 10-bit, and that's because I don't want to have to do a lot of post-production for videos like this, but I do want the best color out of it. So I'm not using log most of the time, I'm just using that normal 10-bit to give you the best of both worlds. There's also a glamour mode, which will smooth the skin, brighten faces, and honestly, why not have that turned on? It's a handy little thing. They have an endurance mode, which I leave off. I don't feel like I need that. And then there's a stabilization scenario, which I leave on daily. And then for image adjustments, I set the texture, which is basically sharpness, and the noise reduction, both to -2. You can always bring those up in post-production, but if you have them at 0 or 2, then that's baked in. So I set mine lower like I do on most of my action cameras so that I can adjust that later if I feel like it's needed. For audio, I leave my channel on stereo. So again, I don't have to mess with it in post, just makes it a little bit easier. And I do have noise reduction turned on, but just standard. Again, I can always adjust that more later if I feel like I need it. Now in settings, you can turn on pat controls, voice controls, and this will start and stop recording in those different ways. I do recommend changing your bitrate to high, and that will help you just get more out of this camera. And then if you go into your options to put on a grid mode, I would highly recommend that because that just helps you in framing your shot a little bit. Now the Atto comes with 128 gigabytes of internal storage with the option to add additional storage via a micro SD card. And then to get your footage off this camera onto your camera, it has USB 3.1 capabilities and 600 megabytes per second transfer speed. So it'll get the job done at getting this footage off of this onto your computer fairly quickly. So love that, always a great thing to have. Now let's talk about the multifunction vision dock. So not only do you have the camera, right, which is a great standalone feature, but you also have the ability to utilize this vision dock as well. And the vision dock basically acts as your control hub, your monitor, as well as your charger for the camera. So like I mentioned before, when you mount this camera to the vision dock, you can mount it forwards or backwards, allowing you to see your subjects or to see yourself. While the camera itself can operate for up to 90 minutes on its own, when it's connected to the dock, you have an extended time of up to 220 minutes, which is great. That's plenty of time all day. It can charge the camera, the dock can charge the camera in 40 minutes, and the dock itself can get charged in 50 minutes. So pretty great recharge time. If you run out of battery, you put it down for a little bit, recharge it, you're good to go again. And while the camera itself is waterproof, up to 10 meters, the dock is only splash resistant. So I wouldn't say you should go swimming with this. If anything, put this on, have this as the monitor, someone outside the pool utilizing it. But it is great that it's still splash resistant, and the fact that you can use this underwater, amazing. Now, the Atto comes with a few different accessories. My favorite being the magnetic pendant. So it's just a necklace that you can put over your neck, under your shirt, and then you can just attach the camera right to it. So now you've got some pretty great POV shots. I can see everything in front of me. I love this about the POV cameras, the ability to just get a different angle than is normal, I think. Along with that, they do have a hat mount that again has both the magnet and the clips to it, so you can get another angle. I like this one because the camera can now see like everywhere I'm looking. With the magnet one, I'm not always like seeing or looking at the thing I want to be capturing. I have to like turn my whole body. But with the hat one, it just goes where my eyes go, basically. In the box, they also include this suction mount, which is pretty handy, like to be able to use this in the car. If I want to get time lapses, I can suction it to my what is that thing on the front of my car called? I am having such bad brain fog. Windshield. Why did it take me so long to think of windshield? I can suction this to the windshield, point it out, point it in, whatever I want to do. I really like that that's included in there as well, and I don't have to go and like separately buy this. And the final accessory they include in the box is this little protective shield, and it basically just goes around your camera like that. Gives you a little bit more protection, makes it even more durable. Not that this thing isn't durable already, but I do like that. It just feels like a little additional support, and you can still utilize all the different accessories with it. If you want to use the dock, you can do that. If you want to use the suction cup, you can do that with this thing on here. So that's super nice. Now, while I don't know if Xtra themselves are going to create their own selfie stick, I have figured out that the DJI Osmo Action selfie stick works perfectly with this mount. So this is for the Osmo Action 4. So I'm assuming everything beyond that would work as well, but it's perfectly aligned with it, clips in, it's great. And so now I personally love filming with a selfie stick because it gets the camera out a little bit further. I'm not having to awkwardly hold onto the camera or the vision dock. This just allows a little bit easier filming in my mind. So if you do have any of those accessories from DJI, or you're like, I want a selfie stick, you can definitely pick up one of these and it'll work perfectly with the Xtra Atto. Now, as for the price of this camera, I honestly don't know as of making this video what the price is going to be. I'll make sure to put that down below with as well a link. If you're looking at this and you're like, I like this camera, I want to pick it up, I'll put my affiliate link down below, but I'll also add what that price is going to be. I can't imagine that it's going to be ridiculously expensive. I think this is probably going to be a fairly comparable camera to others like the DJI Nano or the Insta360 Go series. And all of those like are great cameras for the money. This one I feel like is going to be right in that same area, and it is a fantastic camera if you're looking for like that POV style. So this obviously was a sponsored video from Xtra. They did send me this and asked me to just kind of walk through with you guys, but I think this is a camera that will get used a lot in my family. We love being able to get those POV style shots and just film everyday family life. That's one of my favorite things. It's a lot less work for me when it comes to like editing stuff or even having to like film stuff. It allows me to be in the moment more. And so I love little POV cameras like this, and I will definitely be putting this one to work in our family. So if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button down below, subscribe if you're not already, and let me know, what else do you want to know about the Xtra Atto? What other videos can I make for you guys on this? So I would love to hear it. See you guys in the next one.